We told you we were going to do it. Episode 282. We have a big podcast because, guys, you're going to be listening to this on Monday morning, but right now it's 10 o'clock Sunday night. The NHL playoffs start tomorrow. Holy fuck. I just got horny. This is your host, Ked. I'm hanging out with my co-host, Brownie. Brownie, what's going on, brother?
Nothing. We're less than 24 hours away from puck drop. I'm glad that I knew it was going to happen, but it's just always nice to see it for sure that the Bruins and the Rangers aren't playing on the same nights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, thank God, right? Like, that's kind of cool. It gives us something to kind of look forward to, you know what I mean? Like, I'll probably end up watching the Bruins on the nights that the Rangers aren't doing it. So,
actually, I told my wife tonight, I go, hey, just so you remind you, tomorrow the NHL playoffs start. And she goes, you fucking kidding me? She goes, how long does it go to? I go, mid-June. She's like, what? She puts it out of her head every year.
It's the best. It's the best time of the year.
Yeah. That would be good. That would be good music. Like, it's the most wonderful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. It's going to be fucking sick. So we have like a little bit of NHL news to talk about. Then we're going to kind of break down each series, talk about different stuff for that. I do have kind of breaking news, but like not breaking news. I didn't tell anybody this until now. I reached out to Andy Strickland, the Blues guy, and to see if he'd come on the pod, and he agreed to it. So we're just going to set up a time. So
nice.
in the future, we're going to have Andy on. We're going to talk about Blues season, where they go. So that'll be pretty fucking cool. But that's kind of really my update. What's going on with you? Anything?
No, nothing. Nothing since when did we podcast? Like 3 days ago?
Yeah, but dude, in those couple days, like the weather changed where I'm at.
Oh my god, yeah. Here it went from like 90 degrees the day we went to the zoo on Friday.
Hot.
Yeah. So like all the animals just laying there. My daughter's like, is the rhino dead? I'm like, no, he's just resting. To today, it was like 48 degrees and raining at 8:45 this morning while I'm on a field trying to wrangle 6-year-olds because I'm the assistant volunteer fucking coach who had to sit through 2 hours of online concussion and sexual assault fucking modules to make sure, I know what
you're not a creep, right? Yeah. That's crazy because we're not that far away from each other, and it was like 89 here today.
No,
I got some fucking sun today, dude. I spent the weekend fucking went to the gym, played softball both days, went to Vapor last night, the fucking little casino. Like,
yeah.
They had this band called Skeeter Creek on there. It's like all 90s and modern day country.
I would have thought they would have been like a who's that band up on Cripple Creek?
I don't know what that is.
Up on Cripple Creek, you send me Dixie Feet? No. Dixie Chicken.
Dixie
Chick? Be my Tennessee chick. Oh, Jesus Christ. I have no idea.
Okay. Well,
there's a mea culpa for next week.
It was sick though. They were really good music, but
nice.
I mean, I think so it went from being 90 and then next week it's supposed to be like 50. So
yeah. Kind
of all over the place. Upstate New York, one of the very few places on planet Earth where you can experience all 4 seasons in just one day.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy. But NHL playoffs, if the weather's nice this week, watch some games outside. It's gonna be sick. So let's just kind of hop into shit. And I was gonna do mea culpas, but
we don't have it.
We were perfect. Has that ever happened?
Yeah. I don't think so.
Wow.
That's a sign you should email her back.
Wow. I think you're right, dude. I think, that's the universe. I just thought of something. How do you feel about at the end of the year when everything's wrapped up, we do like an end of the year blogger awards?
Okay.
We could do something like that. I think, I don't know, just spitballing. Sure. We'll get to it. But
when I used to coach, we used to do superlatives for all the seniors. So we made sure every kid got a trophy, right? But it was funny. It was like most likely to take their shirt off, shit like that.
Most likely to order a size medium when they're actually
exactly stuff like that. It was actually I was talking to one of my former players today. We were texting back and forth.
I mean, we had some good blogs come out. Chad wrote one about Nashville and what's going on there. And
who wrote the one about? I didn't read it. I just saw the headline. If the Oilers don't win the cup, either Draisaitl or McDavid has to be traded. Was that you?
No, it was Matthews and McDavid. No, Pat Cronin wanted to fucking stir the pot today,
nice.
dude. Boy, did he ever. He was showing me the comments in some of these Facebook groups, dude. It was pretty fucking funny. Like, that blog is gonna move the fucking needle. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that was pretty sick. But yeah, all right, no mea culpa. So just NHL news before we break everything down. So boop.
This is why I don't gamble. I would have bet money that you were going to hit the wrong intro. No,
I'm fucking. This is episode 282. I'm a professional. Columbus Blue Jackets had parted ways with Brad Larson, who went 62, 85, and 16 over 2 seasons with the Blue Jackets. Not great. Not really given a lot though. So
yeah, I mean, he just got Gaudreau, right? You know, Laine's been there what? A year plus, half a year and a half.
I'm actually gonna fucking look this up right now because for some reason in my head I feel like Patrick Laine has really fallen off, and I don't know if it's an actual thing. Because I remember when he was on the Jets, they would play the Rangers, and he would be like fucking dominant, dude.
But he always was dominant, but then he would take half a game off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at his Winnipeg stats. The first year he got there, in 45 games, he had 21 points. But last year in 56 games, he had 56
You mean Columbus stats you're looking at?
Yeah, sorry. What did I say?
Yeah, Winnipeg.
Oh, sorry. So first year, 45 games played, 21 points. Second full year, it was he must have gotten hurt. 56 games, 56 point per game.
Yeah.
And then this year, 55 games, 52 points. So he's still a point per game player. So he's still okay. Well, yeah, this guy still wasn't really given like a lot to work with there, but I mean, one little fucking fantasy lottery ball, and you got a first line of Connor Bedard, Johnny Gaudreau, and Patty Laine. I mean, that's pretty fucking solid. I mean, that's some firepower. So
they still have Werenski too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was chilling with one of my buddies, Critch, the Death Wish guy, and he was showing me like the analytics of the website. And one of our most viewed blogs was written years ago, and it was talked about how Columbus was like the least desirable city. Do you remember that? And like everybody fucking went at I think Whalen wrote it. And it turns out like a lot of players actually like living there in terms of the city life. It's actually pretty decent.
I don't know. Got that small town feel, but still has all the conveniences and stuff of a major city.
Right. Yeah. So they're gonna get a new coach, maybe Connor Bedard. We'll see. This was really cool. Craig Anderson, well, it's not cool that he hung him up, but he hung him up after a 20-year career.
Yep.
From Illinois, played 709 games, compiling record of 319, 275, and 73 for Chicago, Florida, Colorado, Ottawa, Washington, and Buffalo. Anderson also had 43 shutouts to go along with a 2.86 goals against, 912 save percentage. He won the Bill Masterton Award in 2016-17 and has 20 points and 56 penalty minutes, which is pretty cool. So Craig Anderson, to me, was never a premier goalie, but he grinded his ass off, dude.
Great backup goalie.
Yeah, I think that he just grinded, man. Like it was one of those things where you wouldn't want him as your number one, but when you played them and like he was in net, you were kind of like, fuck, man. Like
because he'd have that odd game where he'd have like 47 saves and win 3-2, and you'd be like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And he's by all accounts a really nice guy.
Everybody loves him. I heard an interview of him on 32 Thoughts, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Great interview.
Seems like a cool dude.
Yeah.
It was cool because everybody gave him a hug, and then everybody from Ottawa gave him a hug.
Played there too.
I mean, when you think of Craig Anderson, I think of him as a Senator.
Same for sure. Right. And he was there to, show Levi the ropes a little bit, how to conduct yourself, how to, do your day to day. So
right. So stick taps to him. Good career. New Jersey Devils Luke Hughes scored his first NHL goal on a nice wraparound in overtime to give the Devils their franchise record 52nd win over Washington on the seasons last night.
Nice goal.
I think I read somewhere that it took Jack and Quinn 8 games to score their first goal.
Oh yeah.
It was a nice goal.
He's tall. He's really tall, rangy.
Mm-hmm. He's a little lanky. I like
he looks like a broomstick with a jersey on, though.
I would like to see him try to make that move when Trouba's on the ice. Speaking of Jacob Trouba, boy, I'm fucking on one tonight. The Pittsburgh Penguins. If you guys remember, Jacob Trouba is the one that dismantled that franchise. They cleaned house. The Penguins announced that they have fired GM Ron Hextall, president of hockey ops Brian Burke, and assistant GM Chris Pryor. So Hextall, totally see that. He did absolutely nothing. Who did he end up getting at the deadline? It was some fucking no-name weirdo.
Didn't he get
Granlund?
Yeah, but he also didn't he bring back like Rantanen? No. Whatever.
I don't know. I was talking about that, the Granlund one. So for me, one of the weirdest things.
Sammy Kapanen? Is that who they brought back?
Sammy Kapanen, they got,
Yeah.
Is that they traded fucking Marino for Ty Smith. And I don't think that really ended up working out too well.
Traded away Mike Matheson, too.
Yeah. So Hextall,
Dumb.
What do you think about? Well, first off, Ron Hextall never should have been in Pittsburgh. That was like, I hate.
Wow, that's because of Bobby Clark. Him and Bobby Clark had that whole fall.
I know, but I don't know. I still don't like it. What do you think about Brian Burke?
I think Brian Burke probably just wanted to leave.
I know, but what do you think about him as like a guy?
Oh, I think he's awesome.
I think
fucking love him,
cool, dude. I love how he never has to tie on like slick back hair. He'd be cool to talk to. But...
So here's one thing though I didn't put on there. All these other teams that let go coaches, they would say like, the Columbus Blue Jackets and Brad Larson have mutually agreed to part ways. Yeah. That's how that was the terminology for every single coach that got turfed, except for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was like, we have fired. I think they're just trying to like placate the fan base.
Yeah, and I read somewhere about the Mike Sullivan thing, and I kind of dove into Pittsburgh Penguin Twitter the other day, and it seemed like when they were winning, everybody liked Mike Sullivan. They said he was one of the best coaches in the league, and they all say, what a fall from like grace. Like he used to be the best coach in the NHL. Now he's like a bottom 3 coach. It's amazing what happens when Jacob Trouba's on the ice. All right, moving on. Anaheim, they have secured the highest draft lottery odds for the first pick. They also announced that they will not renew head coach Dallas Eakins. 4 years with the club, he led the team to 147 and 44 record, punctuated with the worst record in the NHL this season en route to a franchise record 58 points.
That's a franchise record worst, 58 points.
Yeah, so like I understand that they want to be like a cup contender, but I look at the guys on that team. I don't know. Like Zegras is fucking good. Troy Terry's good. Ryan Strome's a good veteran presence. Frankie Vetrano was able to put the puck in the net.
Who's the rookie, the big kid with the beard who looks like he's 40? Mason.
Mason McTavish.
Yeah. I like that kid.
Like I look at all those names and I just wonder how the fuck they finish below Arizona.
Oh, but no one tanks. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. And also Dallas Eakins, I feel like has never coached a good hockey team.
I don't know if that's on him though, or if that's situations he's found himself in.
Yeah. You know what I also just noticed? It's the Stanley Cup preview, and you don't have your Bruins hat, the purple one.
Because they're not playing. The hat is for the games.
You wore it last podcast.
To show you the hat.
All right, whatever you
Listen, I have a system.
All right, man. NHL, this is the first playoff season since 2006 that will not feature Sidney Crosby or Alex Ovechkin. That's pretty crazy. 2006.
Yeah. 17 years.
A long fucking time.
Yep.
Ovechkin, Washington, they announced that the club and head coach Peter Laviolette have mutually agreed to part ways. He was in Washington for 3 seasons, 115, 78, and 27 record. But this year they went 35, 37, and 10, and their most losses since 2006, 2007. That was Ovi's second year. He was only in Washington for 3 years.
Seemed a lot longer, didn't it?
That's got to be a mea culpa.
I don't think so.
Oh, no, because...
He took over after Trotz, after the Cup.
Yes. No, I thought Reardon did.
I hate them. I don't pay attention.
Fair enough. Only in sports moment in the Ottawa-Pittsburgh game this Friday, brothers Matthew and Pierre Oliver Joseph got matching high-sticking penalties for high-sticking each other. Their parents were shown on the Jumbotron laughing as the players headed to their separate penalty boxes in unison.
So I was told that was after this doc was done, I was told that was back in January, but okay. I screwed that up. It's a live mea culpa. Hang on 1 second. Did you hear that?
Yeah. It's podcast. Slow ride, dude.
You don't get any notifications?
No. Why? I'm very confused. What's happening right now? Brownie, what's going on right now?
Nothing?
No, I don't understand what that was.
Hold on.
I'm not editing this out. What's happening right now?
No, you shouldn't edit it out.
What's going on?
You got nothing going on your screen?
No.
Come on.
I really don't. All right, we're moving on.
Wait. Hold on.
Dude, it's been a minute, and you still haven't told me what this means.
Hold
I
on.
love Foghat. Oh, no way.
Yeah, that's how music.
Oh, no way.
What's up, boys?
Wow, this just made my fucking day. Hal, the entrance. Who picked out the music?
Hal.
I did.
Is that so? I have a funny story about that song, and this is why the song has a special place in my heart. There was one time when Hal, I don't know if Hal and I were in high school or college. We did like a Chell basement, like hangout. I slept at his house, whatever. He got a notification at like 3:00 in the morning that his old man purchased that song on iTunes. And it was like 3:00 in the morning, and I'll always remember that. So how's it going, buddy? This is sick. What's up, man?
Good, dude. I'm happy to be here. I honestly, when Brownie asked me, I was honored. I did a lot of yard work over the weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed the beautiful weather. And so I literally crushed like every hockey podcast under the sun, including your guys. And I heard the prediction of like that you were going to come back and do a second podcast in 3 days. And by like Saturday morning, it looked like Ked was on like a quasi bender. I was like, there's no way this is happening. So,
well, you know, it's funny you say that because I didn't hear from him at all Saturday. And I was like, uh-oh. We made a lot of promises.
Dude, no, I knew that we were doing it. Listen, man, Vapor was a movie last night, but I'm here. This is fucking sweet. I can't believe this. Now,
I jumped the gun by like 30 seconds, Hal. It would have been fucking perfect.
I do that. That was a pretty funny.
He's looking at me. He's like,
there's about a minute and a half of Brownie just playing Foghat, laughing for no fucking reason.
And I'm like, you don't see anything on your screen? And he's like, no.
Like,
I'm sorry, Brownie.
No. That's the morning skate difference, right? Fucking.
And you know what kind of sucks is I did like a little like weed soda thing, so I didn't know if I was just like super fucked up and what was going on or not. Still don't kind of know.
What's really going to be funny is when we get sued for copyright infringement because we played too much of Foghat.
No, it was so worth it. So was he brought on? Was Hal supposed to be at the beginning of this, or is this? Okay.
He wanted to come in right before the Bruins part of the NHL in the news.
Okay, all right.
And he was the one who told me about those brothers. He's like, that's back in January, but you know, it's a good story.
Wow, this made my whole day. Look at the boys coming together. This is sick. Boston Bruins, man. Linus Ullmark.
Oh my god, dude!
Tied a franchise record with save percentage this season with 938%, tying Tim Thomas back in 2010-11 for the best all time for the Bruins. The squad also became the only team in NHL history to record 5 separate win streaks of 7+ games in a single season. It's a fucking wagon. I can't wait to talk about them in the Panthers series later today because I see a lot of people picking the Bruins in 6, meaning that they would have to lose 2 games and the Bruins never lose games. So I thought that was we'll talk about that later. But hand up, I could never have been more wrong about a goalie in my entire life. I remember when you guys signed this dude out of Buffalo, I was like, this guy sucks. Like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, you have Swayman, like, what's going on? And he ended up fucking having a year. Do you see these donkeys saying that Sorokin should have the Vezina?
Yeah, or honestly, the reason I asked to come in, I feel passionately about this. Elliot Friedman, I love 32 Thoughts, but he's been pumping Connor Hellebuck's tires for this award.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 stats that like caught my eye on this, not to derail this, but with like Ullmark for the Vezina, and in no way, shape, or form, like I don't even know if Linus Ullmark, like career-wise, talent-wise, is like
it's Linus.
I like Linus personally.
That's not his name.
Yeah, I think I like Linus too, because isn't Linus the dude with the security blanket?
Yes.
Yeah, doesn't he just
Swayman's
look like a
security
Linus?
blanket.
Anyway, so Linus, right? When people are talking about Vezina, the last time a goalie had a triple crown, which is right, wins, save percentage, goals against, was Carey Hart. He won, or Carey Price, and he won the Hart, right? Like he won the Hart. He was league MVP, and now Linus Ullmark does the same thing, and he might not win the Vezina. And if you go a step further,
did they put up similar numbers that year? I know triple crown, but like, do you know off the top of your head? Because I mean, that's a really good stat to fucking break out. That like they're the both, yeah.
I do know that out of all goalies that have had 40+ win seasons, Linus Ullmark has the highest save percentage ever, and second is Carey Price, and that was his Hart season. So I don't know who had more wins or goals against, but Linus had a better save percentage. I don't know, man. Just give the guy the trophy. Like, I know the Bruins are really good, but like, how do you not vote for him, right?
So it's funny you said that about Friedman, because I heard the same podcast and I was like, God damn it. And then I thought about it all day working. And of course, I want Omar to win the Vezina. But then I was like, huh. And we talked about this, Ked. I'm like, I wonder what Hellebuck is at odds to win the Vezina.
Yeah.
He's 56 to 1. So I was like, well, I'm going to put down $20 on Hellebuck to win the Vezina, because if Allmark doesn't, maybe Hellebuck doesn't. At least I'll make $1,000.
It's not a bad idea, especially with Elliot Friedman pumping the tires, dude.
Well, I wonder how many other writers have those same kind of thoughts.
All
30,
of Canada.
32 of them, dude.
So
yeah, I mean, okay. This is before we move on. Question: Game 7. You can either have Tim Thomas or net or Olmark. Who do you have in net?
Well, I mean, Tim Thomas has already won a cup, right?
Yeah, so that's
pretty much that's your whole Richter Lundqvist argument, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of a hardo about that. Like, the only reason why I say Richter is because of the cup. That's literally it. But like, honestly, gun to the head, like if I pick the wrong person, I die. I'm probably gonna pick Lundqvist.
Thomas, I don't know. The thing about Thomas, as great as he was, that team was very different than this team, and it was a different game. And who knows how many power plays he would have put the Vancouver Canucks on if it played in today's NHL.
Yeah, I understand you guys like Olmark. There was just something cool about Tim Thomas. He reminded me of like Charlie Kelly in that episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where they're like selling gas to people, and he's in the back of the car and he's like, "Wild card, baby," and he like cut the brakes to the van and like jumped out the back. Like, that's who Tim Thomas kind of reminds me of. You never really know what the fuck that guy's gonna. Remember when Sean Avery like kind of hit him in the back of the head and he fucking went nuts?
Yeah,
Sean Avery.
Speaking of the podcast I listened to, I was listening to Cam and Strick, and they had Mark Recchi on, and Mark Recchi was telling the story about how when they were in like the Cup Finals in 2011, all the team was supposed to stay at hotels before the game, but the captains and Recchi knew that Tim Thomas was going home, and they told Claude Julien before like Game 7. There's like, well, he can just keep doing what he wants to do, or Game 6, but like Claude Julien, I guess, was like really pissed. He's like, why the hell didn't you guys tell me that he's like leaving the team mandated hotel? And then the captains are like, are you mad? And he was like, no, not really.
It's funny you say that about being wrong too, Ken, about Allmark. Is a guy I used to play hockey with, a buddy of mine, who he's on Facebook. He's one of those guys who's got hot takes like fucking 50 a day.
I love Facebook warriors, dude.
And none of them are right. Like at one point he actually sent me a message. He texted me. He's like, "Man, why you always comment ripping my stuff to shreds?" I'm like, "Because you're a fucking moron and you have children, so you shouldn't be doing this." But he was like, "Hand up." I was wrong about Allmark, so I fucking commented. I'm like, "Buddy, you got to put both hands up and keep them up for a while if you're gonna start doing that for all your stuff." Just like, yeah.
All right, Women's World. Brownie, this is kind of, so I refuse to say Czechia. The Czech Republic beat Switzerland 3-2 to capture a bronze medal.
Yeah, that was earlier today.
Alina Mueller she went 4-6 and 10 in 7 games played. Was the young girl on the Czech team?
Yeah.
Like the 15?
Oh, yeah, that girl. I believe so. Yeah, because there was a 15-year-old that was playing. Alina, man, she threw, I think, 2 punches tonight. She was not having it. I don't know if it was the same officiating crew for both games. I probably not, because it's not like beer league where the same crew stays there.
Right.
The disparity amongst the officiating between the first game and the second game today was unbelievable. The Switzerland Czechia game was super inconsistent. But the Canadian-U.S. game, they were banging. It was like an NHL game. So, unfortunate, but.
No. And you just brought up the USA game. They won gold over Canada 6-3. Hillary Knight, all-time scoring leader in the IIHF Women's Championship with 101 points, 3 goals tonight. First break, 102 goals, 27 seconds apart.
So Canada took a penalty, and then one of the defensemen for Canada went to backhand it out of the zone and put it over the glass. So it was two man down. Knight scored a clapper from the high slot and then redirected one from the paint. And it was she scored 2 goals in 27 seconds. Sick.
USA, baby. And Aaron Frankel, 24 saves to get the W. It's crazy how she's starting the most important game, isn't it?
Yeah, funny.
And
also the women's world.
What's that donkey's name again?
Nicole Haas. She's gotten the most pub ever for being an idiot on our podcast.
Yeah.
The women's worlds next year is in Utica. Is that near you?
The odd.
Yeah, it really, dude. Utica's like an hour and a half away.
That's where they're playing next year. Next April.
The World?
Yeah, the women's world.
Dude, I would go to that.
Yeah, I'll go. It'd be great.
That'd be sick.
I don't know if I've been to that rink since I lost the state championship. Oh, no, that's not true. We ventured back a couple of times. Yeah. 2 quick things. One, that Phenom girl you're talking about, she's from Slovakia.
Oh shit.
But there is a young girl playing for Czechia, too.
I thought there was. Yeah, they're definitely, I think, yeah. Because there was like back-to-back weeks where they came out with like, they're like these really like younger girls on these teams that are sick.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I wanted to comment, I don't know if you guys saw like the celebration, the national anthem after the game, like the whole team like swaying, loudly singing the national anthem. Good scene.
Who was it? There was someone being interviewed by Reagan Suvan from Bar Down. She was interviewing one of the U.S. players, and she's like, she was a younger player. I forget who it was. She's like, it was her first championship at any level. And she's like, it is so great to win this. I'm so happy. And there's nothing better than winning it on Canada's soil. And I was like, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I bet
going.
The USA team probably handled it with class. They didn't smoke cigars on the ice and stuff like that. I mean, you can't just teach a winning culture. So shout out to the women. A+, love it. This was cool. New York Rangers in the last home game of the season, the Rangers did their shirts off the back night. Captain Jacob Trouba gave Isaiah Marquez Green his jersey and then asked him to take a seat on the bench. Trouba, well, actually, I watched the video. So the kid was like, yeah, I'm from he lived in Winnipeg for a little bit. So they kind of like, whatever. Trouba's like, come over here. So they sit down on the bench. And Isaiah, I'm pretty sure his little sister passed away in the Duck shootings.
It's all in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going off the top. Well, actually, there's some good stuff in here. Trouba informed him that the Garden of Dreams Inspire Scholarship awarded him a scholarship so that the 18-year-old could graduate law school debt-free. Marquez Green is a Sandy Hook survivor, and his younger sister, Ava Grace, at the time was 6, was one of the 26 victims of the massacre. He also gave the kid his personal phone number. He's like, don't give it out to anybody else, and he expects to be invited to the graduation. He said throughout the course of the year he's going to be keeping in touch with them. I thought – like I think that's who Jacob Trouba is as a person. Like he fucking you can kind of argue different ways, but like when he was in Winnipeg, one of the reasons he wanted to go to the States is because his wife was a doctor, I think.
And then, going to med school, right? Is that
yeah, and like he didn't have to do that. Like,
no, they didn't have to do this either.
Yeah, so it just there's little things about Trouba, and like I understand he might not be the best skater in the league or whatever, but I've said this, and it's a different game, but he's the 2023 Scott Stevens of the league.
You can make the argument that the Rangers salvaged their season the night he torpedoed his bucket off the board.
100%. And I think they had the fifth best record in the NHL since then. Nice. So yeah, that was a really cool thing to see. Before we get into the Wayne Gretzky stat of the week, I just want to bring up the FDNY NYPD hockey game. Did you guys get a chance to watch it? I think Hal did, right?
Yeah, I watched most of it.
So a couple things. I know like no free ads are giving anybody else like publicity or whatever. I thought Biz did a fucking great job. I thought that Jake Marsh kid actually, I think it was clear he doesn't know hockey that well, but you could tell like he was actually pretty decent. That was a wild game, dude. The firefighters were up big, the cops battled back, and then there were 2 huge fights at the end of the game. I was shocked how good they were. Like it wasn't NHL level in terms of like pace, but like
there are guys in Boston that get on departments because of how good they can play hockey.
No, but like, dude, the pace was really good. Like, yeah. I was shocked by it because I'm pretty sure there's a kid that went to Siena who was on the FDNY team. Maybe not this year, but I know he had played in the past. So I kind of figured it was kind of going to be like a club hockey game, and I guess it kind of I don't know. It was pretty fast. So what'd you have on it, Hal? I thought it was fucking good.
The last fight at the end was great.
It was unbelievable. Number 77, dude.
Yeah, and I think 77 had fought before. That's the thing that I do think is kind of funny. I mean, I love it. Like, passion's awesome. The game was good. Good presentation, you're right. It's just, like, it's funny to think that one guy, like, every day he's just clocking in, clocking out. And he probably, like, the main reason he's a firefighter is just so he can fight someone in front of 15,000 people on
Yeah,
Long
and
Island.
He's still on an engine company because he can play hockey.
He's the Dylan McElrath of the firefighters. A couple other things so cops, they dodge bullets. Firefighters, they run into burning buildings like they're nails, right? I cannot believe that there were people wearing cages in that game. That blew my fucking mind. Like, you guys are nail guns, like legit nail guns, and you're going to put a cage on. I just thought that was kind of odd. I forget what the other thing I had. All in all, man, I thought it was great. They packed the fucking building. This was the other thing. A lot of NHL players did like little videos supporting the FDNY, like Zegras, Strome, Adam Fox. Somebody on the Bruins did, because he said, I think somebody on the Bruins said his dad was a firefighter or some shit like that. And there was not one video of them supporting the police. So like that was kind of a tough look for the cops, having like all these dudes being like, let's go fire. And not one person was like, go cops.
Yeah, I think, dude, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but
you make your bed, you lay in it.
You think it's a political thing?
I just think firefighters one of the few jobs in the world where like it's all credit and very little discipline. What they do is so hard to do, and it's not like they just respond to shit. I don't know. You know what I mean?
You don't see a 300-pound firefighter ignoring traffic on his phone while he's doing a fucking detail, do you? Maybe that's just in Massachusetts.
I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Also, like, I feel like I would be a little bit afraid to fight a cop just because, like, is he not going to fuck with me now?
True. I was just thinking about this, dude. Have you thought at all about like maybe becoming a volunteer firefighter? I'm kind of shocked you're not a volunteer firefighter.
It's I don't know, man. It's a commitment.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is now.
I'm pretty fucking busy, so.
I think you have at minimum you have to be an EMT now too.
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Yeah. So all in all, I would have given it an A. Maybe not an A+, but an A. And it was a good game. Battled back and forth. Dude, it looked like the cops were just going to get it fucking caved in. Like, I thought it was going to be like 12-0.
FDNY, the firefighters are still way better. You know,
there were some big fucking hits too, dude. Like,
I bet. Yeah.
So that was pretty crazy. All right, Wayne Gretzky stat of the week. If Gretzky never scored a single in the NHL, he still would have recorded 11 straight 100-point seasons and won 4 scoring titles. I like this because I thought you were going to say he'd still lead the NHL in points, but this breaks it down even more how crazy this is.
Oh, I don't know where he would have fallen in the overall. Just that way.
If he never scored a goal, he'd still have the most points in the NHL.
Is that true? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking nuts. All right, playoff time. This computer might die, so we're just gonna kind of fucking figure it out. Eastern Conference, we're gonna start with your Bees, dude. The Bruins are playing the Panthers. The Bruins were 65-12-5, 62-12-5. Panthers were 42-32-8. Head-to-head record on the year, the Bruins were 2-1-1. The Panthers were 2-2-0. If we kind of look in terms of stats, power play, league rank 22.2%. That was the Bees. They were 12th. Panthers were 22.8. Their league rank was 10. On the PK, the Bruins had the best penalty kill in the NHL, 87.3. And Florida had the 23rd worst. Goals for, Bruins were second with 3.67. Panthers were sixth with 3.51. And goals against, 2.12. That's first in the league. Goals against for Panthers, 3.32. That was 21st. Let's talk shop, boys. What's going on?
You want to do talking points? You want to do predictions? What do you want to do?
Well, I think we should do talking points and then predictions. I feel like that makes sense. So you guys go first because I watch the Rangers.
Go ahead, Hal. You want to?
Sure.
And I'm gonna grab a charger for this computer so it stays on. So go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much there really is to discuss. The way I looked at this series, Bruins dominant, right? Florida Panthers, like, and I don't know if you have the same feeling, Brownie. I know you and Ked on the last podcast talked about how you didn't really follow it too much, but it seemed like the Panthers, Penguins, and Islanders, none of them really wanted to make the playoffs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Kind of a sad situation. Like,
I would say that there was a few guys on each team that were like, we are doing everything possible to make the playoffs. Like, I think Matthew Tkachuk is one of those players. Agreed. I think Sid is one of those players, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with Tkachuk. He kind of put them on their back. Alex Lyons come out of nowhere, and he's probably the hottest goalie in the league right now. So you think about that.
Game 1 too.
Yeah, I mean, so you think about that hot goalie coming in 8th place, nothing to lose really. They were first seed last year, blew it. Seems like it'd be a tough matchup. I just don't know, man. I look at this on paper, and it's obvious to me. I think it's just one of those keep it simple stupids, right? Like if you look at Florida's D, like they have that Mahara guy on the third pair. He's been a good pickup off waivers. Gustav Forsling's actually, in my opinion, pretty underrated. You have Montour, who he like takes chances, but I just feel like he's kind of a liability. And then their other 3D, Ekblad is not the same player. That dude broke his leg too many times. Gudis is old, and then you have the stall, right? Like you look at their bottom six, like the way Florida starts on paper,
get fucking abused, dude.
That's what I
think Tyler Bertuzzi is gonna fucking wreck him in the first game, and it's gonna be awesome. I might come in my pants when I see that.
Yeah, I would say they have a little bit of snarl. They have Panthers have Lomberg.
So that's one of my. If the Panthers are gonna win this series, to me, I think Lomberg needs to be the X factor.
Well, the biggest thing against the Panthers, speaking of that same snarl, is that Sam Bennett's not playing. Sam Bennett would change the whole tone of this, I believe. I mean, Matthew Tkachuk's a prick. I love him. We're gonna hate him by the end of this, temporarily. But he is going to be a pain in the dick. But the other thing too, the Florida wins against Boston this year, both of them came versus Swayman. Ullmark didn't lose to them. So talk about lying all you want, And Lions never faced the pressure of playoffs.
Yeah, he's literally playing technically like the best regular season team ever in his first playoff series.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I just think I don't know if you guys have anything else to add. I have Bruins in 6 just because I feel like Florida's a weird team. Like if you want to talk atmospheres, Monday in Boston's gonna be sick. Patriots Day tomorrow. No one's working. Red Sox, Bruins, it'll be great. Rumor is the 10-year anniversary of the 2013 Red Sox, or they might be doing like the banner
with the banner way.
Bruins. So it'd be cool to see Jared Saltalamacchia on the crowd or some shit like that. I don't know, man. I got Bruins in 6, and I think it's gonna maybe be 4 or 5.
So I originally wrote down Bruins in 5. But then I read with this fucking donkey Gudis was running his mouth, which annoyed the hell out of me. And then did you see what Paul Maurice said? Because I have it right here on my phone.
Oh,
I saw this. I don't think it's real.
We will systematically deconstruct, frustrate, embarrass, and obliterate the Bruins one game at a time.
There's no way he said that.
It was on TSN's one who put it out.
I mean, he could have said that, dude. That's the same guy who basically told the Winnipeg Jets, like, you guys suck, I suck, I'm out, and then went down to Fort Lauderdale.
I love Paul Maurice, dude.
So if that put it this way, if a Bruin believes it is all that matters, it doesn't have to be true.
Oh, I have another X factor that you guys just didn't bring up, which I think is pretty funny. Patrice Bergeron, is he out?
Brad Marchand said today, goes, he'll be fine. If he doesn't want to play, we'll be fine.
Okay.
Exact quote.
Cool quote. Is Patrice Bergeron out?
I don't think he is. Also, Alex Barkov wasn't practicing today too, so something else to keep an eye on.
Yeah, but wasn't there like a weird quote from Montgomery about like Bergeron like not playing?
Sweeney and Montgomery both basically said the same thing, Marchand. That like he knows his body. If Patrice needs a day off, he'll take a day off.
So my take is, I don't know.
The Bruins have been dealing with cap circumvention for like 3 months now. It's getting confusing trying to get their story straight. All right.
Yeah.
So,
and I also feel like I think this speaks to the fact that they're like, Bergie, if you want to rest up a couple of days, we are pretty deep down the middle, and I think we'll be good these first 2 games.
Pretty fucking cocky, dude.
Cocky or confident? They have. Oh, you know how every team has their little slogans?
Yeah.
The Bruins unveiled theirs. They didn't unveil it. Charlie Coyle a picture was taken of him after practice, and it said something like "Trust the process." It's a fucking business trip. You know what I mean? They're not getting overly excited. Smooth.
Also, one more X factor I had. Brady Tkachuk will not be drinking beers in the stands.
Yeah, we talked about that.
This year, so.
So Hal, what'd you say?
Bruins what? 6.
Ked?
So do you want me to do like my character or what I actually think?
Well, this is what I have to give to Kenton for him to make the graphics, so it's up to you.
Oh man! So one of them I just wanted.
I love this, just so everyone listening at home understands what's happening. Ked talking about his character is him separating and giving distance for when he says something so fucking stupid later in the podcast that he was like, "I was just trying to rile up the fans." That's my character.
No, so like everything in my body is saying Bruins in 4,
mm-hmm.
but I really want to say Panthers in 7, just to like kind of annoy you guys. I don't know how it would happen. It like the only way the Panthers win this series is if it's in 7 games, right? Like I think we can all agree the Panthers
Because there's so much experience in 7 games over on the Panthers. Is that why?
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't think any of us can see the Panthers sweeping or the Panthers winning in 5 or winning in 6. Like, to me, if they win, it's going to be in 7. That Paul Maurice quote, if that's real life and that wasn't like a fucking joke, like that does a little bit for me. It's gonna be B's in 4, but like, I don't know. Who knows, dude? It's a playoffs. So
what do you want me to give Ken?
Give me Bruins in 4.
There you go.
All right, moving on. We good with that one?
Yep.
All right, the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's break down. The Lightning were 46-30-6. The Leafs were 50-21-11. During this year, the Leafs were 2-0-1. The Lightning were 0-2-1. Just kind of, I'm going to break down a little thing. The Leafs had the second best power play in the league. Tampa had the third best. PK 12th and 15th. Goals 4, 9, and 8, and then goals against 7 and 14. So the Leafs definitely had a little bit better of a year than the Lightning. Okay, so Braden Point in the playoffs scares me. He's a fucking
50 goal scorer, Braden Point, right?
He is such a fucking underlying pain in the ass to play against, dude. He's so fast, and every time he's on the ice, if he gets a puck and he's on the ice and he's full speed, he's probably gonna fucking score. I don't see fucking Toronto winning, dude, and they should. If you look at them on paper, dude, they have a better hockey team than the Lightning. But if this fucking curse thing is real that everybody talks about, this would be fucking hilarious if the Lightning beat the Leafs. Like, it would be unbelievable. The fact that they lost Tanner Jeannot sucks because I think they saw the Leafs bulk like get more scores and shit, and the Lightning are like, okay, we're just gonna fucking bully them then. Let's get Tanner Jeannot. Him being out hurts. Tampa's got the experience. I know people are saying Vasilevsky's been a little bit leaky. He has been, but he's still one of the best goalies in the fucking league.
Well,
goaltending.
Hold on. I got a counterpoint for that Vasilevsky. Ilya Samsonov, his career in the playoffs is 1-6.
That's what I'm saying. Vasilevsky in net, Toronto or Tampa definitely has the advantage.
Yep.
Playoffs is a different breed. What type of Austin Matthews are we going to see? What type of Mitch Marner are we going to see? The fact that they have Ryan O'Reilly definitely helps. I know that we're kind of weird.
He's going to be a big factor.
He's very, very good in the playoffs.
Don't forget about national champion Noel Acciari. He'll bang out there. That's a big difference maker.
Toronto's D confuses me because I feel like they have like 8 defensemen that could be a top 6 defenseman. So like I don't know who they're going to fucking end up going with. I have seen that Shen guy mix it up quite a fucking bit. Luke Shen. But for me, I'm gonna go Tampa in 6.
I'll rip mine really quick. This is easier. So I agree with pretty much everything you said, and I have the same hesitations you do. One thing I will point out, in last year's Game 7 series against the Bolts, Marner had 8 points, Matthews has 9. They're both actually typically playoff performers, believe it or not. I know, like, the way they look, it's like there's no way, but they still produce. They have a better bottom 6. One concern for me on the Leaf side is I saw that they're going O'Reilly on the second line, so it's going to be Bunting, Matthews, Marner, O'Reilly, Tavares, Nylander. My issue with that is if you look at their third line, it's Acciari, Yarncrook, and Kerfoot. I don't know. Their bottom 6 to me at that point just isn't really like cup caliber. Like, to me, that's a fourth line. Like, Noel Acciari's a fourth liner on a really good team, in my opinion. Yeah. So I feel like they lack depth, but they have the stars. When I look at the Lightning, if you look at their lineup, like their D, Perbix, Radish, Ian Cole, like that's the weakest D-core in a long time.
I like for them, yeah. I like Ian Cole. Losing Ryan McDonough is
huge, and Palat, right?
Yeah.
And you look at like Perry, Bellemore, Maroon, like they mix it up against the Rangers and the Bruins, but they're older, dude. They're older,
but they're experienced. They have
it's the savviness, yeah.
The Stevie Y Lightning, right? Like I feel like the big difference. I forget who's their general manager now.
Oh, he has a French name. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. French guy, right? Like when Stevie Y was the general manager, they had guys like Tyler Johnson, Yanni Gord, right? Undrafted free agents. They don't have like any of those replacements. I just think this is the most beatable Lightning team ever. I think the Leafs are unfortunately due, and I think when dynasties end, they don't die, they implode. So I am going Leafs in 5.
That was a poet.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is super random. I just said something French. Brownie, I have an aunt, Patrice, so could have played.
Oh, nice. See, I wish we should have had this conversation 6 years ago. So I agree with everything you guys have said for the most part. The other thing I think that no one's mentioned is there is no pressure on Tampa Bay whatsoever.
Yeah.
All the pressure is on Toronto. All the pressure. And Victor Hedman's still going to play 30 minutes a game.
You don't think there's some implied pressure when you've been the top dogs for so long and people are starting to doubt you?
And then they went to a third.
Yeah, not when you play the Maple Leafs either.
Yeah, and all the pressure's on Toronto.
Bro,
and we've already seen Mitch Marner couldn't handle regular season pressure.
I think if the Lightning lose the Leafs, they're gonna get trolled to oblivion, dude. Alex Killorn won't be able to hop on his jet ski for weeks.
Oh, fuck Alex Killorn. He'll probably drive around those stupid shoulder pads.
If the Lightning can take the first 2 games, dude, like
if they can split,
it's a big
split in Toronto.
It's a big ask, but like let's say the first 2 games, like Toronto loses and Matthews and Marner don't show up. Like, how are they gonna do on the pressure?
So I have Tampa in 7 just because I want to see Toronto completely just fucking meltdown. And there's nothing better than watching sad, crying Leafs fans in that stupid plaza.
Well, Brownie, not to get totally derailed, but that's why I want them to win. I want the Leafs so bad. If the Bruins are going to have the perfect season, I want the Maple Leafs in the worst way, and this is probably going to haunt me.
All right.
I also like that Cirelli guy. I think he's a player.
Anthony Cirelli, yeah.
And he's healthy, too. He only played like half a season. You're right on that, Cirelli.
Okay. Next one.
That pick though between Toronto and Tampa is like the reverse Sophie's choice. Like, I hate both of you. Who do I want to not drown? You know what I mean?
I want the Leafs to drown, dude.
Right, go ahead.
Devils Rangers. Devils are 52-22-8. The Rangers were 47-22-13. The Devils this year were 3-0-1. The Rangers were 1-2-1. Checking some shit out. Power play, Devils were 13th, the Rangers were 7th. Penalty kill, Devils were 4th, the Rangers were 13th. Goals for, the Devils were 5th, the Rangers were 12th. Goals against, the Devils were 8th, the Rangers were 4th. I don't know the Corsi. I have the Corsi stats up here. I just don't know what they mean. Like CF. I want like zone entries and shit because I know that the Devils typically are very, very, very. Let me talk. The Devils are a rush team. Like they like that.
I know, but I think you have to toss Corsi in the playoffs.
I know. I'm trying to paint a picture that the Devils are very good getting the.
Hal, I'd like to point out that he didn't mention the word Corsi until we talk about the Rangers series.
The only time he uses the
Corsi was to support the Devils.
Because it's going to support his argument.
It supported the Devils. They're the best rush team in the NHL. Is essentially what I was trying to tell you.
Analytics nerds love Adam Fox.
All right.
If you have a TI-83 calculator, Foxford Norris.
I am gonna go Rangers in 6.
You don't have any talking points. That's just it.
Well, no, I'm gonna go Rangers in 6. I think that Jack Hughes had a hell of a year. It's gonna be interesting to see him in the playoffs. I think, dude, I said this. We talked about him earlier. Jacob Trouba he can throw one hit and it can change the entire series. If you look at what happened last year, Crosby, done. Jarvis, he fucking killed Jarvis, done. Like, I think that's good. Igor has really, he found his game again. And if you look at the Rangers on paper, I mean, obviously they played a couple backup goalies last year in the playoffs, but they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you can't tell me that this team is significantly better than they were last year. Fourth line of Gaudreau, Vesey, and Tyler Mott's a pretty fucking good fourth line. The third line with the kids, dude, I know that they haven't, lit the fucking score sheet on fire, but in the playoffs, dude, there's something about those guys where they find another level, which is nice to see. Tarasenko puts up a ton of points in the playoffs. They don't call Patrick Showtime. They're good. They're really good. And I know the Devils are good. I'm going to be on Jonas Siegenthaler. I picked him as he's going to be my whipping boy. I've already posted an Instagram photo of him and I tagged him and I asked him why he always has to look so fucking awkward. I think Rangers in 6 and yeah, that's kind of what I got. I will say this. I'm very excited that it's Rangers Devils. I don't remember the last time the Rangers played a legit rival. Like when I think of their legit rivals, I think Devils and Islanders. And I don't know the last time those guys have met in the play. Well, with the Rangers and Devils years ago with Henrique and shit, but I think this is going to be good for The Rangers, I guess.
I don't want to give away any picks or anything, but I was thinking this through. In theory, the Rangers could go like Rangers, or they could go Devils, Islanders, and then Bruins.
Yeah.
If they went Devil, Islanders, Bruins, do you think that'd be the shortest amount of travel through 3 rounds of any Stanley Cup?
Oh,
wow, I never even
history,
thought about that. That's a
maybe,
really good fucking point, dude.
Yeah, it would be sick for them to play both teams. I'm excited for this series too. We always talk about it. Like growing up in New York, it's so easy to make fun of Devils fans. It's like the easiest thing in the world, but they are kind of passionate.
Hold on one sec, real quick, just because it made me think of this. You wouldn't believe how many people I've heard from who love the idea of your Sean Avery statue right by the train for Devils fans.
Yeah,
they were like, that is the best thing I've ever heard.
I think it's pretty sick. I've never met a Devils fan that had a Devils hat that wasn't a completely flat brim.
Dave clap.
Flat brim.
This is a good one. I feel like Ked's gonna troll us, Brownie. I don't know. Do you want to go first?
How was I trolling?
I meant to say. I think Ked thinks we're gonna troll him. I don't know.
No. I think it comes down to a few things. I think it comes down to the speed. If the Rangers can keep up with the Devils' attack enough to push them wide on the rush, then I think they'll be okay. And then the bigger question to me is, can the Devils grind? Yeah. Right? Can they grind? And then my last point is Igor Shesterkin, Mackenzie fucking Blackwood. I mean, come on.
Well, no, they have that
Vitek Vanacek.
Yeah, Vanek Vitek. So I to be honest with you, I think Blackwood had better numbers for the season.
I will say something that kind of bothers me a little bit, and it's happened a lot to the point where like every game when he's on the ice in the defensive zone, I watch him specifically. Vincent Trocheck is trash in our D zone. He I don't know if it's a system that it's playing or it's still taking him time to adjust, but if they're in the D zone, he's always chasing somebody or getting the wrong dude. So like if the Rangers can buckle up their D zone, they're gonna be fine. But
is he playing second line minutes? Trocheck?
Yeah. So
because the third line's the kids, right.
Yeah.
I had Rangers in 5. Honestly, I'm not impressed with the Devils. Sorry, Boother, but
it's a good pick, Brownie.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much on the same train. I will give props. Dougie Hamilton, like he plays sheltered minutes still if you like look at the numbers, but I think it's a legitimate Norris season for him, like candidate wise. Probably his best season ever. Again, I hate the guy. I like Reeves Marino. Getting him for Ty Smith was like a crazy trade. Like the Devils' future is so bright. I love Jesper Bratt. I know Ked doesn't. He's one of my favorite players in the league. You have the Hughes brothers, Meyer, Heishier, Mercer, like it goes on and on, Nemec. But like I feel like it's just like the Avalanche a couple years ago. It's like you're not close. And I'm not even saying they'll be the Avalanche one day, but I just feel like you have to get punched in the face a couple of times and figure it out. And I think it'll be good for them. And like, respected sports pundit Frank the Tank was talking about his Devils. And I'm pretty sure he said like basically just happy to be here. Like we'll get a couple wins. Like we'll consider it a victory for a season. So I think as a Devils fan, you have to look at it and realize the Rangers have a deeper forward group, better defenseman, and a better goalie. That's 3 strikes, you're out. So I have Rangers in 6, but the only reason I did that is just the rivalry aspect. I could see it going later.
Yeah. Those were great picks, guys. Thank you for coming with like some professionalism.
I thought about it for a while.
Go ahead.
The next series, the Hurricanes and the Islanders. The Hurricanes
series that no one in America wants to watch outside of these two fan bases.
52-21-9 for the Hurricanes, 42-31-9 for the Islanders. The Hurricanes were 3-1. The Islanders were 1-3. Of course, their Corsi stats. Fucking first for the Hurricanes in pretty much everything. 20th on the power play for the Hurricanes, 30th on the power play for the Islanders. Playoffs are a lot about special teams. Penalty kill. Carolina was 2nd, Islanders were 9th, and then I don't really give a shit about anything else. So I've heard talks that Barzal might be back.
Barzal's back for game 1.
The Hurricanes did nothing to make their team better at the deadline, and then they lost Svechnikov.
Can we count Pacioretty as a loss for them also?
Yeah. I have I think I have the Islanders in 6. They're boring, bro, but they do it.
Here's
Sorokin, like you guys said that you were worried about Sorokin and shit. Like,
definitely, they definitely have the better goalie. They are boring. One thing that's funny though, and I don't like. I feel like everyone just pretends that Barry Trotz is still the coach of the Islanders. Do you know what I mean? Like they still just act like it's Trotz's system. Trotz is behind the bench. Like I don't know. I go back and forth on this. Like if we're being honest, how many points do the Islanders have? Like 93. That usually like does not get you into the playoffs. They're not really a very good team. People are talking about their identity line. Their identity line has been trying to grind through first round series for like 15 years now. You know what I mean? Like I love Cal Clutterbuck, but does he still have the magic to pull off like an upset with the boys on the fourth line? Like, I don't know if I buy that. Obviously, Sorokin is great, and it's tough to get over the Svechnikov injury. I just feel like for whatever reason, everyone's low on the Canes right now, and I hate the Canes, and because everyone's low on the Canes, they're going to win. So I have Canes in 7, but I see them limping.
I can see Brent Burns being a big factor for them.
100%. Brent Burns does not have a cup. Like I remember Rod the Bot was talking about him a lot, basically saying like how much he wants it and how hard he's working. I mean, no offense to your boy Tony D, but that's definitely an upgrade on the blue line this year.
Big time.
So I was back and forth like you were, Hal, and I went the other way just because I fucking can't stand Brindamore. No whiny twats on my Stanley Cup run. I have Islanders in 7.
Right.
And you can make the argument that Sorokin gives them that little bit of an edge that maybe that'll win Game 7.
For the record, I want Islanders Rangers in the second round so bad.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
If the Eastern Conference is Isles, Rangers, Bruins, Leafs, that's like a dream come true for everybody.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Yeah. All right, guys, that was the Eastern Conference. Now we're going to do Western Conference. We're going to start with the Avalanche and the Kraken. The Avalanche were 51, 24, and 7. The Kraken were 46, 28, and 8. The Avs went 1-1-1. The Kraken went 2-0-1. As we kind of break everything down, the Avs had the 6th best power play. Power play for Seattle was 21st. Their penalty kill was also 21st, but goals for, they were 4th, and goals against, they were 15th. All right, so elephant in the room, Landeskog's out. That kind of sucks for the Avs. I feel like they've been so low-key this year. Do you guys feel that?
You know what? I didn't realize until I was looking to do this. You know your boy Georgiev has also 40 wins this year?
That's fine. Watch him in the playoffs.
No, I'm just saying.
Better numbers than Igor.
I'm just saying. He has 40 wins. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. You got they still have Nathan McKinnon. They still got Cale Makar. Even if Cale Makar is banged up, they're still playing, right? And Colorado's been there before Seattle. I mean, some of the guys have been. The thing about Seattle is they roll 4 lines and they score from the defense. So that's a tough thing for Colorado, especially if they're a little banged up. But I just think that, I mean, McKinnon's not fucking around. He scored a hat trick the last game of the season to secure that top spot just to get the home ice. And he's got that fucking intensity going like he always does. So I personally have Colorado in 5. And that's, I think, giving Seattle a break.
Yeah, I was trying to talk my way through this one too, because like Georgiev, right? We just touched on him. Do you trust him? You replace like Kadri with who? Like JT Compher and the boys? Like it's not the same team as last year. No captain. But it's just like the Seattle Kraken, good enough story. I'm sure they'll probably have a cool atmosphere. I find that rink very aesthetically pleasing, if that makes sense.
You see that thing from the depths to the summit? I thought that was a cool little catchphrase.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like, if you look at it at the end of the day, like Vince Dunn, another guy who maybe should get a little bit of Norris love. Him and Adam Larson are the top pair on the Kraken. Both, to me, really underrated D. Larson's dad died when he was in Edmonton. He went through some shit. He signed this deal, and I think he's a legitimate good top 4. But they're going to have a heavy matchup. They're going to play a shit ton of minutes, and like, I think this is the worst possible matchup for the Kraken, because if you think about what the Kraken are good at, it's like speed. They just fly at you, right? Like Tanev's on the 4th line. Like it's just all coming in fast at you. But like, I don't think there's a faster D-core than like Makar and Gerard and like, do you know what I mean? Like Taze, Taze. I don't see them getting by it. So I have the Avs in 5 too.
I'm going to take the Avs in 6. I do want to give Jared McCann a shout out, dude. Did you guys know that he scored 40 goals this year?
Yeah, and that was something I wrote down too, though. It's like, and shout out Jared McCann. Do you think Jared McCann's going to light it up in the playoffs, though?
No, You know how like every year I pick a Western Conference team and I become a fake fan? Like if Seattle wasn't in Seattle, if it was literally in any other city, I would probably be all aboard their train just because like I don't know, I think they're kind of a cool makeup of a team. Like they kind of have sick jerseys. Like I feel like they bang. I feel like they can grind if they need to. I like Matty Beniers, but I don't know. I think it's cool that they made the playoffs this early, and I love how like we're okay with the Kraken making this is their your second year?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we were pissed about Vegas. So it's pretty cool that Seattle in their second year or made the playoffs, but it's like one of those things. I don't think the Avs are going to go. They're not even going to sniff a Stanley Cup, but like I can see them beating the Kraken. So Avs in 6.
I agree on the cup thing too. Actually, I don't know who the possible matchup would be, but like I would not be shocked if they lose in the second round.
Yeah. Next series, the Stars and the Wild. This season, the Stars were 2-0-2. The Wild were 2-2. As we kind of break things down, Dallas, their power play is 5th. The Wild is 15th. The penalty kill 3rd. The Wild is 10th. In terms of league rank, they beat the Wild in everything that I can see right here: power play, penalty kill, goals for, goals against. I just mentioned earlier how I become a fake fan. I'm going to be a Minnesota Wild fan until Matt Zuccarello isn't there, Western Conference wise. I tell you what, man, like they're just a fucking pain in the dick team to play against because you have high end skill with Kaprizov, Zook's sick, Boldy's really good, and then you got to deal with Foligno and Reeves and Eriksson Ek is done for the playoffs. Did I make that up, or is he hurt right now?
Week to week.
Yeah, week to week. I was like, I didn't think he was done.
He's a fucking game changer, so that's a pretty big loss for them. But like Marc-Andre Fleury, I don't know if we've had more of a roller coaster with a player since we started this podcast than Marc-Andre Fleury. But at the end of the day, I think we can all agree like the dude makes the playoffs and like he performs decently well in the playoffs. So
I was reading something where they're saying that there's a chance that Gustafson's going to get some games too in the series.
I don't know. It could happen. And also, I fucking love Minnesota's coach, and I hate Dallas's coach. Who's the Pete
DeBoer, right? Pete DeBoer.
Yep. Yeah. And then the Wild coach is that crazy motherfucker.
Dean Evason.
Yeah, he's sick. So I'm gonna go Wild in 6.
All right. Well, I'll go. This was another thing of can the Wild slow down the game and the Stars, right? Because the Stars play go, go, go. And Minnesota, even Kaprizov, they all are like so defensively responsible and they just are suffocating. So I went back and forth on this. I just think that the high-end talent of Dallas is going to prove to be I love Matt Boldy too. I think the Stars are just it's going to go to 7. And I think it's going to go to 7 because of the experience in the Minnesota net. Because I think Ottinger has proven himself. But I'm going to go Dallas, and I went Dallas in 7.
Ottinger's a game changer. I completely forgot about him until you just said that. But I'm still taking Minnesota because I'm a Wild fan.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah. Flip side, though, if you look at Gustafsson, I think Gustafsson came over from Ottawa, 938 save percentage since February. He's going to be in the pipes, right? So, yeah. I mean, like, the Wild have pretty good goaltending. You might even technically ride the hot hand, give the edge over Ottinger. I still believe in Ottinger. I am a fan of his. I think, Ked, you mentioned it, Eriksson Ek is, like, probably a very underrated defensive center. The Wild have always been, like, low-key kind of weak at center. Like, I love Ryan Hartman, but sometimes he's, like, on the first line. It's like...
Matt Cullen, dude.
Matt Cullen, exactly, dude. Like, Mikko Koivu was, like, sick, but not as cool as Saku. Haynes Pavelski-Robertson might be the best line in hockey, or, like, top 5, I guess. That was probably a little bit of a crazy statement. Mason Marchman's coming back from injury. Him and Ty Domi are playing on the third line with Sagan. Like, Marchman bangs bodies, Ben bangs bodies. If there's any, like, Domi, they have players that can handle what Minnesota's going to do, which is goon it up. I'm with you, Ked. I kind of love the Wild too. I don't root for them, but it's like, that's like, people call Detroit hockey town. It's like Minneapolis is like hockey town. Like, that's Hockey USA to me. And so, like, I always want to see them succeed and not be boring, but I don't see a way. Stars in 6.
I will say this, if the Stars do get through, out of any team in the first round, I'm even saying the Bruins, like, Obviously, the Bruins, because in terms of they're probably going to win, but a team that you don't want to face in the playoffs is the Minnesota Wild, because even if you beat them, the next round you're going to be feeling it. Like those guys are going to fucking finish every single one of their checks. Like you're going to have to fucking grind these games out. So, all right, so we're good with this one, correct?
Yep.
The Golden Knights versus the Jets, and this sucks because I really wish it was the Golden Knights versus the fucking Kings, but I digress. So this season, the Knights were 51-22-9. The Jets were 46-33-3. The Knights went 3-0. The Jets went 0-2-1. So we kind of go down here. Vegas with their stats 18, 19, 14, and 11. The only one that kind of jumps out here is the Winnipeg's penalty kills, 6th in the league, 82.4%. Mark Stone's coming back. How fucking convenient. Jack Eichel's going to be playing in his first fucking playoff. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. You want to know why? You know who the X Factor is? He is the only X Factor in this series.
Whiteout Ked.
The All-American man, Connor Hellebuck. This guy can steal games whenever
I'm on board, buddy.
He can. He can. He played lights out against the Rangers the last time the Rangers played the Jets. And like Winnipeg is kind of like they're kind of like Minnesota in a way, where it's like
Canada's Minnesota.
They also fucking grind, right? Like they really do. They still have some elite fucking talent there. Kyle Connor's probably going to score fucking 11 goals because that's what Kyle Connor does. And at the end of the day, I don't even know who Vegas' goalie is, but I do know who
it's Laurent Brossoit is starting for
Game
Vegas.
one.
He's been pretty good, but one thing about Laurent Brossoit, he has the most French-Canadian name ever. You'd assume he's from Quebec, but he's actually from British Columbia, so he's kind of a fraud in my books.
Fair enough.
You know what they say, if you have 3 goalies, you have no goalie.
I think you said the Jets are 6th in the league in penalty kill. One thing that caught my eye is I think Vegas is the only team in the playoffs that was in the bottom half of the league in both power play and penalty kill. Mm-hmm. So, like, you got to have some special teams. Like, yeah, I don't really have any reason. Like, I'm just going to keep faithful to who I am on this podcast. I hate Vegas. I hate that franchise. Give me the boys and girls in Winnipeg in the whiteout just pounding beers in the parking lot over, like, the laser light show and David Blaine at intermission. Like, it's night and day. I'll tell you what. I want a guy in free agents frenzy who's like, bring me to fucking Manitoba. I want to go win a cup there over the guy who's thinking about living on a golf course in Henderson, Nevada. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm going Jets in 7 too. I don't have time for Vegas anymore.
Did you see that?
Did you say Winnipeg in 7? Is that what your pick was?
Yeah, that's what I had too.
Yeah.
Both of you? Okay.
Jack Eichel talked about the Vegas flu being real. Did you see that? That was like a quote that kind of came out recently, how like teams, I don't know. To me, the Vegas is playing just how the fucking Colorado Rockies did when they had the fucking field that you could just hit nobody could hit a home run, or everybody hit a home run. What one was it?
Everybody hit a home run.
Everybody hit a home run. Like they had that home field, but not in the fucking playoffs, dude. Telling you right now.
A couple of things you guys didn't hit on was that Nikolai Ehlers and Cole Perfetti are back. Well, Ehlers is probable, but those are 2 big key additions back. And Winnipeg, for the last month, have already been in that mental playoff mode state trying to get it. So I also had Winnipeg in 7 because I love Hellebuck.
Yeah, Hellebuck, he's the guy. Also, Mark Stone coming back, huge, but like, is he okay? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, is he healthy?
He had 2 back surgeries, right?
I'm saying, dude, like that probably takes a toll, I would imagine.
Also, I've seen Bruce Cassidy juggernaut teams kind of flail pretty early in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Firsthand?
Excuse me?
No. All right, we have one more series. It is going to be the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings. This is going to be a good series, I think. This year, Edmonton went 50-23-9. The Kings went 47-25-10. Head-to-head, they were both 2-2. As we kind of scroll down to the bottom, obviously the Oilers had the best power play, but they were 20th in penalty kill. Goals for, they were first 17th in goals against. The Kings had the 4th best power play in the league. It's crazy. First 32.4, 4th 25.3. That's how fucking lethal the Oilers fucking power play is. Penalty kill 24th in the league for the Kings. I think right there that solves it for me. Also, just I think the Oilers are going to be really hard to beat this year with McDavid playing the way he's playing. So I actually have Edmonton in 5.
I'll keep it short and sweet. I have Oilers in 4. I think people are really overthinking this shit. I think LA is a good team, maybe a different matchup, I have them winning. I'm not saying that the Oilers are like a crazy juggernaut. Like I feel like some people are kind of like really pumping me up, being like they have Nick Bukestad now. Like I don't know. There's still a shit ton of questions about the Edmonton Oilers, but they have, like you just said, Ked, they have the best power play of all time. Like the Bruins are best team ever. That was the best power play of all time. They're going against a shitty power play team. Bad juju for the Kings getting rid of Quick. Like Korpisalo, are we talking Korpisalo and Phoenix Copley against McDavid in the first round? Like think that through, folks. That's my opinion. Yeah, Oilers in 4.
So I had that there was some. It's a rematch, right, from last year, but there were some additions on both sides. You got Mateus Elcombe on D for the Oilers, which is a huge piece, but you also are starting Stuart Skinner in net, who's never been in the playoffs, right, as a rookie.
No, Mike Smith is nice.
Right, no, for sure. But he could always have one game, that he would.
I can't believe they didn't make a rule where he just couldn't leave the crease last year. Like, stop touching the fucking puck, dude.
Do you remember all the Mike Smith fans coming at you last year?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
And then on the King side, you have Korpisalo backing up Copley, like you said. But you guys also they added Fiala up front. They got Gavrikov on D, and Drew Doughty's back. So I don't know if it's going to be as big a cakewalk as you guys both think. I have Edmonton in 6 just to give Alberta heart failure. Half of Alberta, that is.
That's fair.
It's classy.
All right, guys, that's what we had for the playoff preview. Dump and change. I don't think we have anything.
No, we were going to go into, if you want to talk, we could do beer league if you want to do some beer league.
Dude, we fucking lost tonight 4-3. We tied it up with like 4 minutes left, and then they went in and they literally just shot a puck on the ice that went in. And like we battled to tie it up, so that was rough. I sent you that video before. I wires crossed for me tonight a little bit. I think Hal knows this. I don't like getting slashed on the hands. Like I'd rather get hit or like something else happen to me than that. And I got a fucking mean slash on the hands, and I had the puck and I literally just let the puck go away, and I went right after the kid, gave him a good cross check, just like Neil Pionk. 2 minutes aside. Yeah, but the loss was hard. But I haven't played hockey. If you think about it, I was in St. Louis for fucking 3 weeks, and then it was Easter. So I haven't played hockey in over a month, and I was feeling it. And I was super hungover tonight. So, but it'll be nice to kind of get back. I think we have one more week and then the playoffs. So we'll see what happens.
Hal, you been playing?
I have been. I'm skipping this week. This is the age-old question. Beer league game or your team's playoff game?
Oh.
We have ice tomorrow, 8 o'clock. I'm not going. I haven't told them yet.
We have one game left, and they're dicking around with the schedule. And so the captain sends out this text today. He's like, there's ice tomorrow night. And everybody's like, no, the Bruins are playing. Like, what are you doing?
Of course, because no one wants the ice.
Right, exactly.
So are you like that every game in the playoffs, or is it just because it's game one? Like, no matter what, if the Bruins on, you're skipping beer league?
I told him, I'll see you Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And I go, please and thank you. It was my response.
So last year, I'm pretty sure I played in a softball game when the Rangers had a playoff game.
Where'd that get
you guys lost?
Yep.
No, I think we won that game, but
we're talking series.
Yeah.
Did you guys win last year?
No, but not due to me and Hal.
Yeah, I was there for every game. I can tell you that much.
And the one game I was at in person was the one they won last year. Was that last year? The year before? Oh, whatever. But now I got my purple hat, so there's
Last year, I went to game 2, and then I was thinking about going to the Carolina one. I didn't go. The Lightning one, I thought about going. If they made the Cup, I was going to go. This year, I don't know what happened, but the tickets are so much more fucking expensive. Oh, one thing I did want to mention, Billy Joel was supposed to play a concert Saturday night, so they didn't know what the Rangers were going to do, and they told, hey, Billy, hit the fucking road, dude. So the Rangers
gave you a banner, so you can come back anytime, buddy.
I thought that was cool. So, like, you know how yours is trust the process? Ours is Billy Joel, get the fuck out.
He probably still got paid.
Yeah,
doesn't he just have like a lifetime contract with MSG or something?
No, listen, man. I don't think that they would, but I was just really happy that they didn't let Billy Joel boss them around.
Hey, I know we're not doing dump and change, but I did see today. Remember the guy we talked about with the Dodgers?
Yes.
With all the mental health issues, they re-signed him.
Oh,
so he has another year of insurance, so he can get treatment.
I thought that's what we talked about.
That was up through this year. This year they signed him. Yeah.
All right. But yeah, that's what we have for that. Other than that, we good?
Yeah, 3 stars.
Yeah, we'll do 3 stars.
All right, Jim and Mike, thanks very kindly. A nice weekend for you. As always, our 3-star selectors are stars of the hockey scene wherever we go on Rogers Hometown Hockey.
All right, so we're going to do wildest playoff predictions. I'm going to just put my head up and say, hey, I haven't done this, so I'm going to do it on the fly. So what do we have for you guys? 3 stars.
I don't know if this is wild, but your boy Jack Hughes disappears like mist on a sunny day in the New York Rangers series. That's my 3rd star.
All right, Hal, do you have stars prepared?
Yeah, my 3rd star. This isn't really on the theme, Brownie. I promise you, my other 2 are. But my 3rd star is I'm going to predict that I'm going to continue to use Ked's TNT subscription that he sent me in November. That I'm very thankful he never or his family never changed the password to. Thank you so much.
After the first round, it's all in.
They have the Cup finals and like everything, and they're the hardest one to find.
And you want to know what, Hal? I tip my cap to you because I've been using your HBO Max for about 3 years now. So
that is what we call a mutual
benefit.
Wait,
hold on, dude. Did you watch Succession tonight?
No.
Wow, that's big, dude. Are you gonna watch it after, you think, or no?
You already watched it?
No, I haven't either. But I can't believe that you skipped Succession to come on the pod, dude. That's very brave of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be up late anyway, so
fair enough. All right, so let's see here. I think I don't know if it's a wild prediction, but I think Matt Boldy leads the Wild in points in the playoffs. I think he's going to have a fucking really big playoff. There's something about that kid. I just think he's got it. So it's my 3rd star.
Yeah, this is what bugs me every year at this time. The Bruins are going to be on NESN for the first round, and then it goes to the national networks. Why can't we get it? So I would pay to have Jack and Brick all the way through.
No, I would too. Why
don't they make that option?
I'm like, I just really don't want to hear Ray Ferraro tell me why the Rangers suck. That's like,
because at some point I'm gonna get so angry at fucking Ed Olczyk.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I mean, like the other thing too is I like watching like intermission sometimes, where like if I'm gonna watch PK and Chelios talk about best dress of the night, I'm gonna have to throw my remote to the TV.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, that'll be your Devil's talk, right? He humps those fucking guys up. Jesus Christ.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Sure.
So what was your 2nd star?
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Did you not go?
I was just saying that I was just
I skipped you, dude. I'm sorry.
Hal, I'm glad that you said that because I didn't remember it either. And again,
that was crass of me. I just got
to up.
Brownie, you're up.
Oh, I'm up? All right. So this is like a 2-parter. So I think that Hellebuck is going to go off. And he's going to be so locked in that he is going to knock out Edmonton in the 2nd round because Edmonton is going to get the shit beat out of him against the Kings. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Hellebuck's they're going to win the Jets are going to win the 1st round, and then Hellebuck is going to beat the Oilers in the 2nd round. Sorry, Kenton.
I like that. That's a good one. Mine, jeez, that was actually a good one. Mine is. Did you guys see Vince McMahon? His like new haircut and his like new look and his mustache.
Does he have a mustache now or something?
He looks great. So I was thinking about it. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Gary Bettman has been feeling himself this year. Like when he was talking about how the polls were saying the fans love the boards on the ads and shit like that. He thinks this shit doesn't stink anymore. He's an untouchable man. So I think he probably saw Vince McMahon. I think Gary Bettman's going to rebrand. I was thinking spray tan, new haircut, and he's going to get cheered when he brings out the cup this year.
That might be the wildest prediction of all time.
Right? Don't you think if Gary Bettman like rebranded, wouldn't that be sick? Wouldn't you?
I'm fairly confident his family boos him when he walks into a room.
Maybe he puts on like glasses.
Comes out with a mustache.
Just glasses.
Like glasses, mustache.
Like every 90s movie when, that girl's such a nerd. Oh, wait, she's beautiful.
Yeah. He just needs like a slim cut Italian suit. You know what I mean? Toupee.
And like a toddler size. My 2nd star is backpedal Bo Horvat. I think he's going to go off for the Islanders. I got a fucking weird feeling he's going to pot like 7 goals or something.
Him and Barzal.
I think Bo Horvat's going to have a good playoff.
I don't hate it. Do you know who he's playing with?
I
No
know
idea.
he was with Barzal before Barzal got hurt. And what's your buddy there? The professor? What do you call him?
Oh, the scientist.
Wasn't it the three of them?
Brock Nelson. I'm unsure.
Makes
Guy
sense.
looks like fucking Frankenstein.
In theory, though, if Bo Horvat pots 7 goals, that means he's probably potting a couple against the Rangers.
Yep.
Love it.
What do you got for your first star, Brownie?
I was looking up the Islanders quick.
All right, can I do my first star then? I feel good.
I got it right here. Yeah, you can, but here it's so the first line's Andersley, Horvat with Barzal, and then Engvall, Nelson, and Palmieri. That's your top 6.
Oh God, that's a bad top 6, dude. Pierre Engvall.
It's on the left wing.
Holy shit, dude! I think I might.
That's why I picked the Canes, dude.
Yeah, I'm changing that.
No, you can't. It's already locked.
I didn't know the lines, dude.
You're an Isles guy.
You should have looked up the lines. It's written in pen.
Wow.
Hudson Fashing on the third line, bro. They're going off. Zach Parise.
Zach Parise, yeah.
Damn.
All right, so my number one storyline is Ryan O'Reilly leads Toronto in points for however long they're playing. It becomes the fan favorite, the factor. Everybody loves him. It gets under crybaby Austin Matthews' skin so much that once the Leafs get dusted in round 1, Matthews comes out and flat out states that he's not re-signing with the Leafs.
I don't think that'll ever happen, but if it did, that'd be so fucking cool.
I just think it would be fucking great if it happened.
Awesome.
And Ryan O'Reilly says he's re-upping, which then they start scrambling about money, and that's what leads to Austin Matthews going, yeah, I'm not coming back.
To New York.
No, if Austin Matthews gets traded anywhere, it's a place where he can wear flip-flops year-round.
It's Arizona. He's going to save Arizona because Gary's got his hand in that.
100%. I don't hate that one. I just hate Ryan O'Reilly, so that was kind of tough for me to hear. First one, oh yeah, this was a good one. I'm glad I came up with this one. My first star is that Jacob Trouba is finally going to have karma come back on him. He's going to catch a guy with his head down. I was thinking first or second, maybe even third round. He's going to clip him with an elbow to the head. 2-5-10 Rangers will lose the game. He'll be suspended for the rest of the series. In comes Harper and Mikkola playing more minutes, and the Rangers season tanks thanks to Jacob Trouba.
I feel like that.
It's plausible.
Really
it's plausible.
It's very good. It was well thought out. It's plausible for sure, and it was like a shot at Ked, huge.
And like I don't even hate Trouba. I just feel like in Ked you had like the way wouldn't it be ironic if Jacob Trouba throws a huge hit and George Peros gives him like 6 games, dude? That's your reality. It sounds like it could happen.
Oh my god. All of a sudden George Peros starts listening to all his voicemails and he's like, motherfucker, this kid's a New York Rangers fan.
That'd be pretty brutal.
Look at how defeated he face.
Before I get into my first star, I also want to bring up that Kadri's not going to be in the playoffs this year. So suspension wise, that's kind of what I thought. Do you think we're going to see a lot of suspensions this year?
Oh, only if Hal's true.
It's only, I don't know. I feel like suspensions are a first round thing. You know what I mean? Like I could see somebody on the Wild maybe picking up a couple.
Foligno.
Yeah, Foligno. Like
Revo, yeah.
God forbid AJ Greer gets in the lineup. Who knows what that's gonna do?
My first star is Connor McDavid wins the Conn Smythe on a losing team.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's probably that could be the most accurate.
Has that happened? That definitely probably happened.
That happened, I think, before.
JS Shiger, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I could see that happening. I could see the Oilers either losing to the Rangers or the Bruins or anybody, and McDavid has like 50 playoff points, and you still have to give it to him.
He might get 50 playoff points and still get bounced by the Jets in the second round.
Not to elongate this, but do you guys is there one team in the West that who do you think has the best chance of beating the Oilers out of the West?
The Minnesota Wild. Or the Winnipeg Jets. Like the Wild because they can grind and the Jets because they have the best goalie. But dude, I forgot about Ottinger. If the Dallas Stars somehow make it through, He was electric last year in the playoffs, dude. He was really good. And you mentioned that line of Pavelski, Robertson, and who's centering them? Is it Sagan? Maybe. I don't know.
Didn't Jamie Benn go off for like 30 goals this year too?
Yeah, Jamie Benn had the weirdest comeback of all time, all for a guy who doesn't eat box.
Stay out of the box, Jamie.
All right. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't envision this podcast being an hour and a half, but I think we covered a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I'm pumped up for the playoffs. It's going
to
be
this exact moment. We're caught up on hockey right now.
On Tuesday, I can't wait to fucking get out of the gym, go to Stewart's, get a couple deli dogs, the sheriff dogs, sit down and watch fucking game one. It's gonna be fucking electric. So, you guys have anything else for our listeners or?
Sad fact for me, I may be watching the game in the basement because I woke my daughter up a number of times last year watching NHL playoffs.
Have her sleep in the basement.
It's too cold. I'm going to be sitting on this pathetic stool watching this TV up there.
You want to know what though, dude? Like that screams Boston Bruins Stanley Cup. Like the fact that you have to do it in your basement. I feel like you have like a radio and you're listening to the radio. You might do that if it's.
I will in the second round. So listen to those
fucking doing that, dude. That'd be funny.
Do you know when the Bruins won the cup in 2011? I had the same meal in the finals every game. Even when they lost, I'm like, I'm sticking with it. I get the same meal. Me and my dog sat on the couch. People like, you want to come out to the bar? I'm like, no. Like, oh, do you want to? Hey, I'll come over to your house. I'm like, no.
Dude, people that go to the fucking bar to watch their game is so fucking stupid. The only way I could see that is if I lived in New York City and I could see me going to a Rangers bar to watch a game. I think that'd be cool. But being in Saratoga, going to a bar to watch a Rangers game.
Do you remember, Brownie, you remember the series against the Senators? Must have been 15-16. It was the first round they lost. It was when Charlie McAvoy came out of BU. The Bruins lost to the Senators in the first round. I was in San Diego with Ked and Rex, and we had tickets to the Padres game, but I think we missed the whole Padres game. I think we got there in the 8th inning because the Bruins, Sean Corrali scored in overtime, and we the game was about to end, and we were like, all right, we'll get there in the 3rd inning, and then it was overtime. Yeah. Nightmare of a day for me.
There was that reminded me of a story. So years ago, I was in this bar up in Marlboro, a few towns over, which unfortunately, greatest bar in the world. It closed down. Shout out to the 401. But we were in there one night. I think it was just me and the bartender who I knew. We were buddies. And we'd locked the door and we were just drinking beers. I think we were making food. There was a game. I think it was Minnesota. It went to triple overtime. I mean, I'm talking 18, 20 years ago.
Wild Avs, I'm pretty sure.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So it was a commercial break. And he's like, I'm going to grab something in the kitchen. And I go, I'm going to take a piss. We were walking back and we heard the fucking goal. And we were like, we have sat here for 2 whole fucking games and we missed the game winner. Yeah, it was the worst.
Sad. Pretty cool that a bar owner that you can just close the door, lock it up, and have beers and food and watch hockey.
Dude, the amount of times I've been locked in bars in my life is probably more time than I've been in bars.
That's pretty fucking cool.
I worked in the industry, so you'd always lock the doors and stay in there all night,
Oh, yeah, I totally misunderstood that. I was thinking of our buddy. I had a buddy. We used to work at a bar together, and this was after he stopped working there. And
this is allegedly, by the way.
We went out downtown, and at this bar, there was
downtown. You mean New York City?
In Saratoga, upstate New York. There's this downstairs entrance, and if you go to the left, there's a walk-in cooler. And he got in there at 3:30 in the morning and fell asleep in the walk-in cooler at his ex-employer.
Oh my god!
All-time story. Walking around the street.
Woke up the next day, his phone was dead in a basement, dark as fuck, having no idea what the fuck was going on.
But probably slept like a champ. Nice and cool.
If you knew Carsey, he slept like a champ, dude. All right, what else do we have?
Oh, that's it for us as always. Thank everybody for listening. Make sure to check us out on YouTube, subscribe, all that jazz.
Love that.
Check out the blogs. The bloggers have been cranking them out. If you're interested in advertising, now's the time to hop on for a 9-week playoff run. We got a nice package in place, right? We live ad reads, logos mixed everywhere, and Yeah. Besides that, Jerome McGinley, if you're out there listening, buddy, you can come sit on my couch and watch the game with me anytime, pal.
Love that.
Hal, do you have anything, dude? You want to suck Tom Pody's toes, or are you good?
Oh, thanks for having me, boys. That was fun. I have to run though. I can't be an absentee father anymore, but it was great to be back. Love the playoffs. Ked, good luck to your Rangers. I mean that wholeheartedly.
Good luck to the Bees, boys.
And let's go Bees.
All
There
right.
you go.
Thank
That's
you
it.
guys for tuning in. We will talk to you in probably about a week.